Hello YouTube, greetings from the Stop Motion Reviewer. Before I get started with today's review, I just need to go over something really quickly. I did email Patreon to see if I could do a $0 a month pay tier option, and unfortunately Patreon doesn't offer that. The minimum I can charge is $1 a month in order to keep my content on there. I can post it as open to the public on Patreon. The problem with doing that is that they don't directly have videos uploaded to their platform. You would need to do so through some kind of external links. So I'm working on a plan of redirecting my channel probably to bot posting and Transformers Addicts. For those of you who don't know the page, I'm going to post a link in the description below. But anyways, on to the review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus and Minimus Ambus 2. Combiner Wars Magnus transforms into an Earth-based car carrier and truck, capable of transporting up to 4 Legend-sized figures. Can we just take a second really quickly? I kind of miss Legends class figures. They were the basic $10 figures that were just a little bit below deluxe, that weren't quite Micromasters in scale and didn't literally disintegrate the second you literally touched them. I wish they'd bring them back. But before I get off track, let's talk about the truck mode. The truck mode is absolutely phenomenal. It's clean, it's big, it's commanding, and it has giant missile launchers hanging out there posing as headlights. Could you imagine seeing a car carrier with missile launchers mounted on the side that people were honestly expected to believe are just headlights? I love this figure so much. But anyways, one thing I didn't expect with the figure was the actual ability of the truck carrier mode to actually function, meaning that the ramps can fold down to allow other Legends figures to go in the top level, and Legends figures can also go in the bottom level through these bottom ramps. This is cool. It wasn't very often that the Combiner Wars figures had a lot of playability, minus just the ability of every figure to combine and the ability to remold the hell out of everything. So this is really awesome that they actually made the truck carrier mode function. Yes, it's somewhat due to transformation, but again, they didn't have to do this. Ultra Magnus also comes with a little figure named Minimus Ambus. Apparently this is a reference to the IDW comics where Minimus Ambus takes over Ultra Magnus' spark after he's killed to keep him alive and everything else. And unpopular hot take, I wasn't really a fan of that story arc. Like, is this guy really Ultra Magnus? The whole time he's been this guy? Why? To me, at first, it seemed like the figure was just kind of added as A, fan service, and B, a way of justifying the $50 price point, because people were complaining that this felt small back then. Yeah, sure. But anyways, what he does later on after the transformation is the hands down the coolest shit I have ever seen in my life. So let's cue that music, get down to transformation, and hope the FTC doesn't remove this fucking video. Holy sh! I already said this on bot posting and Transformers Addicts, and a lot of people aren't going to agree with it, but in proportion to what you're spending on the figure, this figure is actually better than Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. And this is for a couple of reasons. Masterpiece Magnus has these white, thin plastic tabs that keep on the arms. That is disaster waiting to happen. This guy has solidly mounted on shoulders, and because of these little side flaps on the shoulder stacks that can fold out, he can get a lot more outward shoulder movement in the process. Also, the Masterpiece is almost $240 on eBay. This figure is about 40 to 50 bucks. And the aftermarket value still hasn't made the figure actual murder to buy. So, buy this! Now, about Minimus Ambus. Minimus Ambus can go inside Ultra Magnus' chest inside the sweet-ass cockpit that he has. In order for you to do this, all you need to do is just fold down the chest, open up the doors, flip back the head, place Minimus Ambus inside ever so carefully, because believe me, you need to be absolutely precise with something this tiny. Put it in his chest, close it all up, and there you go. Ultra Magnus becomes a sick-ass piloted mech suit. Articulation of the figure has a couple missed opportunities. You can see right here that it looks like they were about to make an indentation for the waist piece, but then budget cuts kicked in, and now he no longer has waist rotation. His hands can open and close, which kind of makes up for it, but they can't really hold the guns that mine didn't include because I got them off eBay. And his wrists don't swivel, which is important because he won't be able to hold the hammer that the guns make, which again, I don't have. Crap! But I can forgive him for it because this thing is truly leader class. Not Voyager Plus, not Voyager with parts, leader class. Don't believe me? Here he is next to a current day Siege Optimus Prime. He's double his size. Here he is next to Siege Jetfire, and he looks comparable. He looks like he could legitimately take him on if he were still a Decepticon. How cool is this shit? This is what a leader class figure should be in terms of size. Only not hollow as shit like this one is, but still, this is leader class. Ultra Magnus is a fantastic figure to own. Even though he is relatively hollow and it definitely shows on the inside of the legs, the plastic is definitely made to last. This thing has fallen off the top level of my bookshelf back when I was in college and everything else, which is about 4.5 feet tall, and it landed onto a hardwood floor, and the only thing that happened was the little red panel thing popped off, and I was able to pop it right back on. I tried to customize my original copy of the figure into a Delta Magnus, and it worked for a little while, but the problem is that apparently enamel paint softens the plastic, and as a result, the head just essentially disintegrated off the figure. So do I recommend the figure? Absolutely 115% yes. Why would you even ask that? Ultra Magnus is literally my profile picture on this channel. But just buy this figure. Honestly, you aren't going to find a better Earth-based Ultra Magnus for around $50 anywhere on Earth. Except for maybe if Earthrise comes out with Ultra Magnus, please, for the love of God, Earthrise come out with another Ultra Magnus. But anyways, that's pretty much been my review on Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. My all-time favorite figure of my collection, the thing that got me back into collecting, and by far the best Earth-based Ultra Magnus for this price point that you're ever going to be able to find. This has been the Stop Motion Reviewer, and I would say like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, but I'm just going to say follow me on Facebook.